Okay, again, if you're Keldon Johnson, I'm never having my back to the ball like this. We're going to rotate down. We're going to be halfway between the ball and the three-point line. And then why is stop? So Keldon Johnson needs to rotate. If I'm Julian Champagnie, this is where, well, my help should be. I have Zach Collins right here. Why am I letting Norman Powell go away from my help? Popovich is terrible. Okay, if you're Victor Wembanyama, I'm not playing off James Harden. I have help right here. So I'm up, I'm guiding James Harden into this help. Why are you playing off? If you're Keldon Johnson, you are not worrying about the ball when it's across half court. Just sprint back in transition. See, you're worrying about the basketball right now. Stop! Get back. Sohan can take the ball. I got to get to Terrence Mann. Okay? But you're worried about the ball across half court. No one's got Terrence Mann. Now everyone's scrambling, and someone's going to be wide open. Paul George. Popovich is terrible. Okay, so the Spurs are running their stupid drop coverage. Now, Julian Champagnie wants to be in the gaps. He should be up the line more, okay? But if you're Victor Wembanyama, why is he entering back to the baseline? I'm seeing ball, I'm seeing man. Like, you're entering the paint and staring at the ball. So now Terrence Mann beats you backdoor. That forces Jeremy Sohan now to have to stick around and help, and now it's an open three. If you're Keldon Johnson, you don't guard like this. You get your back to the baseline. I'm low. I'm battling for position. See, right now you have no idea what Paul George is doing. He's setting a cross screen right now. So if you had your back to the baseline the whole time, you know, okay, I got to jam a Vic Zubac as he comes through so Zach Collins can get on the other side. But you don't do that. Popovich is terrible. Forgot to say that. If you're Cedi Osman, you cannot guard like this. Your back has got to be to the baseline. So Jeremy Sohan can play. I know I have help here. So I can play up on Paul George because if I force him this way, there's help. Okay? But Jeremy Sohan's playing off. Cedi Osman's got his back to the sideline. Fire Popovich now. Why you're underneath if you're Trey Jones when you switch. You're underneath. There's no place for James Harden to go. You're switching over the top. So James Harden splits through and the Spurs are very poorly coached. Why am I running drop coverage? Charles Bassey's up. Victor Wembanyama's right here in the gaps. Trey Jones can get underneath and battle for position. You're running drop coverage. You're sending two to the basketball. Daniel Tice is... Popovich is terrible. Okay, so now the Spurs are trapping. First of all, Charles Bassey's got to get up on the trap, and Malachi Branham can't be staying here. I got to be up. I'm not worried about two passes away. I'm worried about Tice on the roll right here. Okay? But you don't move. So the Spurs trap, sort of, and now Tice is open. The Clippers have numbers instantly. Wrong side ISOs are the easiest things in the world to double. Malachi Branham gets down. All we do is we want the dribble picked up. So Zach Collins is going to rotate. Once that dribble gets picked up, though, now I'm rotating to the weak side of the floor. Okay? Or instead, you can just leave Westbrook going one-on-one and... Okay, Wembanyama's coming to double right here. Okay, when Westbrook pulls his dribble back out, Wembanyama needs to go back to the weak side of the floor because now Trey Jones can enter the picture and get in the gaps here. And then Champagnie can force Westbrook right into gap help here. But guess what doesn't happen? Everything that I just said. Cannot guard air in a zone. Julian Champagnie's got to get up towards the wing. Victor Wembanyama's got to take the middle of the zone. Branham is taking Paul George. See, Branham's guarding no one. So when Daniel Tice sets this screen, he's essentially screening two Spurs. Trey Jones can't step up because he's got to be responsible for Norman Powell. That's the worst zone I've ever seen. But that's Popovich. Cannot run drop coverage on pick and pop. Zach Collins can take Paul George. Sohan's underneath. Branham's got to move over. I'll have help in the gaps here. I'll have help in the gaps here. You run drop coverage on pick and pops. This is shoot around. This is the coaching the Spurs have. Look at it. Jeremy Sohan doing in transition here? You get back to a body. Why are you paying attention to the ball? Charles Bassey has the ball. Keldon Johnson's in help. I got to go find who I'm guarding. Kawhi Leonard. Like, you're just getting back to the middle of nowhere and not... So now Kawhi Leonard gets it. You're not ready to guard. Easy pump fake, get you in the air. Collapse everyone. Harden in the corner. It's a down screen. It's a very simple action. You can't not defend it. Wembanyama's got to get attached. I'm either switching or I'm showing so Kawhi Leonard can't curl and Jeremy Sohan has time to get over the screen. You do absolutely nothing. So Kawhi Leonard's going to curl right off of this, catch, dunk. Greg Popovich is horrible. So this is a cross screen. Zach Collins has to jam Paul George as he comes through this cross screen so Keldon Johnson can get on the other side. When you don't touch Paul George, he's going to curl right off that and lay it in. Popovich is terrible. Okay, James Harden picks his dribble up right here. Okay, so why is Jeremy Sohan staring at the ball? Like, just get out to Kawhi Leonard. There's nothing left to do. The dribble is picked up, but you're staring at the ball. So now, as opposed to just being up ready to guard, and I can force Kawhi Leonard right into help here, you're late getting out, bite on a pump fake, and Kawhi Leonard's right to the rim. And it's the same thing. Kawhi Leonard just picked his dribble up. So if you're Zach Collins, there's nothing left to do here. Nothing. Just get over to Ivica Zubac. By the way, you should never be guarding like this anyways. You should be level to Zubac with your back to the baseline so you're seeing ball and man. I mean, this is trash. Okay, so Victor Wembanyama comes to double from the weak side of the floor. So why is Julian Champagnie right here? When this double occurs, why are you staring at the ball? All I got to do is be out here. Okay, this double team's happening. That's it. Don't worry about the ball. Just get out to James Harden. Like, you're coming into the paint. Why? What is Jeremy Sohan doing? Get back. Get underneath. Get to the three-point line and get underneath Kawhi Leonard. Look at this. How is Kawhi Leonard able to seal you from the three-point line? It's a turnover right here. Charles Bassey, on this turnover, I must sprint back. It does not matter I'm guarding Daniel Tice. This is transition. Just get back. Look at Bassey jogging to where? Sprint this way. You just are jogging to the absolute middle of nowhere. Trey Jones, please sprint back and get ahead of Daniel Tice. Why is Trey Jones jogging? Look at Trey Jones Stop. Get ahead of Daniel Tice so I can box out on this shot. What are you doing? It's out of a baseline, out of bounds. If you're Malachi Branham, you're fine. Okay? Just stay in front of Norman Powell. All they can do is throw this ball in the backcourt and you're okay. Why are you trying to get around this screen right here? So now Norman Powell's just going to beat you backdoor. Okay? And that forces Wembanyama now to have to step up and help. And so while that's going on, Daniel Tice is going to set a down screen that Wembanyama can't guard because he had to worry about helping you. And Paul George is open now. This is reprehensible garbage defense. Zach Collins needs to be up. Stop running drop coverage. I'm underneath if I'm Branham. I have help right here in the gaps if I'm Doug McDermott. Why am I giving Paul George an open jumper? This is garbage coaching. Trash. Again, this is reprehensible garbage. It's offensive. Zach Collins needs to get up and switch. Doug McDermott's underneath. We're going to battle for position. Doug McDermott will be in the gaps on the switch. Wembanyama's already in the gaps. So instead, you're running this stupid, idiot drop coverage right here, okay? So now Keldon Johnson's going to leave Paul George and take the ball. So now you're telling Doug McDermott, don't fight over the top of the screen anymore. Go switch on to Paul George on the weak side of the floor. Not going to happen. Greg Popovich is a joke. This is comedy. Okay, I'm not sure why this can't just be a switch. It's wing to wing, but Popovich is terrible. If Cedi Osman's going under this handoff, I can't be... Look at how he's trying to go over the handoff first. Well, now you're going to end up making contact with the screener, and Russell Westbrook's going to get on the other side ahead of you. So now that's going to draw help in the paint, and Daniel Tice is open. Jeremy Sohan, I got to stay underneath Paul George and battle. You cannot start fronting the post when there's no backside help.